ISKCON founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai, Prem Shri Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaur Bhakti Vrinda ki jai, Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Shai Mukunda Radha Kundi Giri Govardhana ki jai, Vrindavan Dhama ki jai, Mathura Dhama ki jai, Navadvip Mayapur Dhama ki jai, Jagannath Puri Dhama ki jai, Gangamai Jamuna Devi ki jai, Bhakti Devi ki jai, Tulsi Maharani ki jai, Samaveta Bhakti Vrinda ki jai, Gaur Premanand. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasmani Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityanamani Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pachani Namaste Sasimani Paskajati Satani Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raganatam Vitam Sam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadvadutam Parijana Sahita Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Raganatam Panchakalpa Trivistarki Vasanti Vataptitinam Kavalegyo Vaishnava. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Today is the 31st of August, 2019, in Dublin, or as you say, Dublin, Ireland, and we're really going to be going in depth today in Bhagavad Gita chapter 12. So we're going to be looking at the verses, Prabhupada's purports, and also all the Acharya's commentaries. So this is in 3 parts. Text 1 through 7 is an overview of 2 primary paths of spiritual realization. And for each path, we're going to look at the goal, the process of the path, the nature of the path, how one gets delivered on the path, what are the qualifications for taking up the path. In text 8 through 12, we're looking at how these 2 paths fit together, what's their relationship. And in part 3, text 13 through 20, the qualifications of those who have achieved at least this threshold of bhakti. Now, if you'd like to know why I really put a lot of time into Bhagavad Gita chapter 12. So first of all, it's in the middle portion of the Bhagavad Gita, which Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says is the jewels inside the jewel box. You know, if you have a jewel box, you have the bottom of the box, the cover of the box, and you have the jewels inside.
So the jewels inside the Bhagavad Gita are in the middle chapters, which are about bhakti. Some of the reasons why I feel that this is an extremely important chapter is that many times devotees ask how they can accelerate their practice of bhakti yoga, or what are the obstacles on the path of bhakti. And I think generally when we talk about the obstacles and how to get rid of them, we talk about offenses. But there's another consideration. By the way, is my English speed okay?
Perfect.
Yeah.
And any of you who don't have English as your first language, or who are struggling with an American accent, am I okay here?
Yeah.
Okay. I can slow down if I need to. Okay. Many parts of the world I have to speak at like 1/4 speed. Then everybody can understand me, but they fall asleep. But there's some other obstacles in bhakti besides offenses. And that is doing something you think is bhakti and isn't. So mixing bhakti. I'd like in the definition of bhakti, Rupa Goswami, anybody know that verse? Anya vilasita sunyam jnana karma anavritam anukulena krishna nishimanam bhakti ritamam. So the second line, jnana karma anavritam, not having jnana or karma cover your bhakti. And I'm sorry we ran out of books, but the novel Essence Seekers, the whole part 3 is about the process of karma yoga, jnana yoga, dhyan yoga, and bhakti yoga in the form of a novel. So it's very easy to be involved in karma yoga, jnana yoga, or dhyan yoga instead of bhakti, and think you're doing bhakti, or to have karma measure bhakti, jnana measure bhakti, dhyan measure bhakti, and think you're doing bhakti. And that it's another big problem on the path. And also the question Arjuna asked in the beginning of this chapter is, I perceive among devotees a huge misunderstanding, a huge question that comes up all the time. A further reason why I think this chapter is so very important is that a question I get asked all over the world is, how do I know how to please Krishna? How do I know what pleases Krishna? We always talk about pleasing Krishna, making Krishna happy. How do I know right now, in this moment, and in every moment when I'm making decisions, what does Krishna want? And the last verses in this chapter, text 13 through 20, are a fantastic template for if you're doing those things, or at least trying to do those things, Krishna's happy. You know, he doesn't make a secret. Some people make a secret of what makes them happy, right? I say, particularly women have this reputation with their romantic partners, that they don't want to tell them what makes them happy. They just want them to guess. They say, if I tell you, then it doesn't count. Right? There's some, not everybody, but there's some tendency like that. You have to be a mind reader. So Krishna's not like that. Krishna doesn't say, you know, ha ha ha, you have to figure it out yourself. He says, this is what makes me happy. So I see that those are very crucial. Another really important reason to study this chapter is it contains one of the many instances of what I consider an opulence of the Vedic path. And that is, you can do this, and if you can't do this, you can do this, and if you can't do this, you can do this, and if you can't do this, you can do this. And it's not the kind of religious system that says, everybody has to do this or you're going to hell forever. Of course, yeah, right. So the Vedic path is simply not like that. There's this option, and this option, and this option, and this option, and there's an option, even in transcendence, there's an option of karma yoga, jnana yoga, dhyan yoga, and bhakti, and within bhakti, there's various levels that one can operate on. And I think it's just absolutely beautiful. And anytime, if anybody takes the mood that everybody has to do everything the same way as everybody else at every time, they're reading a different scripture. So this is another real beauty of Bhagavad Gita, chapter 12. And I hope you all enjoy this chapter in the next few hours as much as I do. Hopefully you'll enjoy it even more than I do. And hopefully Krishna in your heart will reveal to you many, many times more than what I understand. So the first part we're going to look at, and don't worry, we're not going to go till 2 without a break. So we'll at least take breaks between the parts. Yes, when Manu said to me, this will be a short seminar, I'm like, okay. A short seminar is like an hour. So part one, of course sometimes we have a week-long seminar, but not all at one go. The first part is text 1 through 7. Now we're not going to be reading through the verses. So, if you what I would suggest is that after this seminar, you take your Bhagavad Gita and read through the verses. That's my suggestion. If that's all right. Okay, so the first thing we start out with in this chapter is that or would you all like to read the verses first? Would you like to do? What do you think? Should we do that? How many of you have a Gita or a phone? Does everybody have at least a phone? Yeah. Okay, so maybe we'll do that.
Can I go behind you and give out the Bhagavad Gita?
You most certainly can. And yeah, what you might want to do also is perhaps refer. You might want to refer to some of these verses as we're going through, because we are going to be going through more or less in order. For the part 3, we will not be going in order because I've taken part 3 and rearranged it.
Maybe you can share.
And if you have a phone, you can just go on to database.io/en/library or database.com will do that for you also.
I'm going to take one then. You've already got it.
Okay, everybody, at the beginning of chapter 12. So if you have a phone, you can go to database.com or database.io/en/library.